EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Marticher with your outlook for November 20th, 2024. We have a lot to cover in today's video, so buckle up and get comfortable. Welcome to Wild Weather Wednesday, brought to you by Pure Sight and Sound. Think of a person with the cleanest house that you know. Everything is perfect. The floors are polished. The carpets are untrodden. The candy is arranged in the candy dish. Doesn't sound like my house at all. Go ahead. Take a second and try to think of that person. And now think of the experience you get when you walk into their home and audiophile quality music is playing from invisible speakers. Wait, what? You mean they don't have audiophile quality sound? You mean they don't have invisible speakers? Well, they are in luck. All you need to do is ask them to call Ed at Pure Sight and Sound. That phone number is above me here in the video, and he will design a system where not only are the speakers absolutely invisible, but all the equipment is hidden away in another room. Great for picky homeowners, fantastic for picky interior designers. Call Ed at 570-992-2992. Again, that number is right above me here in the video, or visit them on the website at their website at puresightandsound.com. Call today and mention that you heard it on EPAWA, and remember, at Pure Sight and Sound, they hide with pride. They are Pure Sight and Sound Incorporated, proud sponsor of the Wednesday video forecast. Wild Weather Wednesday is a very good tagline for today because, again, we have this system. This has been a long time since we had an impactful system affecting the region. It is going to be a multifaceted system. We're going to have several different factors that we have to cover that is not just limited to rain, and there's going to be some snow involved. There's going to be some wind involved. So we have to cover all these today. So, like I said, get comfortable. There is a primary low that's up here in the eastern Great Lakes. You can see it right here. There's this big, broad upper level low that's trailing this system and is going to rapidly move eastward. It's going to eventually sit over top of our region. There's a secondary low that's going to spawn down in here, and in between there's going to be an occluded front connecting these two. And it's basically people ask me this on Twitter, but it is in fact a Miller B transfer. Okay, we're getting a primary transferring its energy to a secondary low. But there is an upper level low involved with this, which makes this a little more difficult. So as we move forward with time here, we do have rain moving in this evening, and that's going to become steady and heavy at times overnight. So we haven't heard those words in a long time, probably not since August, right? So it's been a long time since we heard that. And although it will be moving, so we're either going to have a limited upside of precipitation here. I think most areas are going to be a half inch to an inch. You might have a few areas go slightly over that just through Thursday morning, but this is going to end late in the overnight tonight. Okay, so this pulls up to the east. It looks like this secondary low is going to continue out and no big deal. The problem is, again, there's a big, broad upper level low sitting right here. Okay, there's the old primary low right here in the Great Lakes that's now wrapping around here in the western part of the Great Lakes. And here's the secondary, okay? Now, this low is going to basically it's going to lasso it, right? It's going to grab this thing and pull it backwards this way, okay? So that's what the upper level low is going to do. It's going to do a couple things. It's also going to, once it captures it and it pulls it back, you're going to be able to draw some cold air from the upper levels and bring that down to the surface. So the surface temperatures are going to be allowed to be colder, and you're going to have a situation where not only are we going to have snow accumulating for some areas, but other areas where the temperatures are still warmer than snow can normally sustain or fall at. I mean, it's going to fall at temperatures that are in the mid to upper 30s, and it will still be falling as snow in those cases because of those cold upper levels. So it's going to, again, this is going to take a path. So far it's been doing this, right? It's going to go near Cape Cod and come all the way back here like this and do a loop. All right, and it's going to go right over top of our area. And this process is going to take until Friday evening to complete. It's going to be a long time process. So just follow this along as I move it forward. Watch this thing just start going backward and retrograding. The upper level low is capturing it, and it drifts all the way back into the lower Hudson Valley, and then eventually northeast PA, east central Pennsylvania by the time we get to Friday evening, and then it finally pulls away, and that's it. So we're going to have, regardless of precipitation type, this is much needed rainfall. Not just tonight, but you're going to have additional showers, snow showers, rain showers, whatever. It's going to melt in the days that follow, so it's going to become part of just as if it rained anyway, okay? So this is all very good stuff. This is what the upper level low looks like when it captures it. You can just see this is the big, broad upper level low with that strong vorticity. It grabs it right about here and lassos it back. You'd see that spin right there. See that? Grabs it, and this whole process takes until Friday night to complete. Okay, and then that's out of here. And here is what the NAM has. The NAM high res future simulated radar. This is a precipitation type radar, doing this purposely because just to show you that overnight tonight we were just dealing with rain. We got showers coming in this evening. It'll evolve into steady and some heavier periods of rain, and as that low gets offshore here, that second area gets going, you can see some embedded heavier rain in here. Wouldn't even be surprised to see or hear a rumble of thunder with this. And yes, the highest elevations, very highest elevations, I'm talking about way up there, above 1,800 feet. Overnight tonight, late in the overnight, could have a few snow showers at the very end here. Probably doesn't do anything just yet. Okay, and this is Thursday morning at 7 o'clock. Still got some lingering showers here. They're going to hang around for most of the day. Watch me get in the afternoon, though. You start getting that low starting to be pulled back, and you get the upper level low influence coming in from the west at the same time. So western PA has these snow showers. We're getting rain showers mixing with and changing over in the higher elevations to snow, and this is already on Thursday afternoon. And as we go through the evening, that area expands. So we have a dynamic cooling processes at work here. And then further south in the lower elevations, we're remaining showers until you get later in the evening. And then it's not really dynamical cooling at this point. This becomes evaporational cooling, where it actually changes to snow and falls as snow, but it actually cools the air around it as a snowflake falls through there and melts. It actually cools the air around it, and that is almost like an icebox effect, where it lowers the temperatures as the snow falls. And then it eventually does change over all the way down to I-78. As you can see here, we get some snow falling in the overnight. Now, this is the first part of it. All right, this is going to pivot, and this is all going to come down here later. This stops at hour 60. I'll get back to this in a second. Here's the rainfall we're expecting. Again, a general half inch to an inch across the entire region except for our south. And then we're getting into a couple places getting slightly over an inch. This is just through Thursday morning, and that's it. Again, there's going to be additional. This is the rain equivalent after that point going through the end of the storm. Let me get to that here real quick just to show you. There's some areas here that could be over 2 inches in liquid equivalent by the time we get to the end of this event, and 1.5 inches or greater in some other areas. So this could be very beneficial. Whether it falls in rain or snow, it's going to melt, so it's going to count, right? The other aspect to this is the wind. This is the second thing. We are going to have some windy conditions come in this evening for our southern area, south central PA. Very briefly, on either side of midnight, it looks like you get some wind gusts here, 35, maybe even 40, low 40s across Delaware, South Jersey for a few hours. And then late in the overnight, it subsides. We are going to have little breezy conditions here on Thursday, but it's really Thursday night that this is going to start picking up again. As you head late in the evening and in the overnight, you get these wind gusts picking up that'll be in the 25 to 35 mile per hour range. Might even have some upper 30s in a few spots. And this is going to go through part of the overnight, and then it's going to consolidate further south. If you're up north, this is kind of backwards here. But if you're up in the northern areas here, it won't be as high as areas in south central Pennsylvania. Initially, it's going to be up here in the elevations of northeast PA, for example, and east central Pennsylvania, southeast PA, Jersey, most of New Jersey. But it's going to consolidate as we move forward, and it's going to consolidate over south central Pennsylvania most notably. So like Lancaster, Harrisburg, back to like Gettysburg and Altoona, you'll still have gusts here in the mid-30s here. That's going to go pretty much most of the day here on Friday. And then when you get late in the day, get towards sunset, it finally subsides. Okay, so that's going to be part 2, is the windy stuff here. Now here is the snow map. Now this is the 10-to-1 snow map, and this is the one I'm showing this on purpose because if I had a clown emoji that I could put on here, I would put it right over this image because that's what this is. This was being shared on social media yesterday, and this is why you have to watch what you or you have to make sure you trust the person, whoever the poster is, because if they're posting stuff like this is absolute nonsense, absolute BS. This is not happening in any shape or form. So for somebody that didn't know what these different maps are and they saw this, they'd be like, oh, wow, we're getting 6 inches in the Lehigh Valley. We're getting over a foot of snow up here in the up near the Scranton-Wilkes-Barre area. That's not happening. It's not happening, folks, okay? If we take this to a map that can consider snow ratios, which in this case, for this event, is probably about 6-to-1 or 7-to-1, 7 inches for every 1 inch of rain equivalent, that is, or 6 for every 1 inch of rain equivalent. So this map is a Kuchera map, which actually factors in those ratios. So see it cut those numbers down quite a bit. It's still high in the upper elevations, but this is still too high. Reason is because this is November. It's not January, okay? So November, it's a different Your thermal gradient is a little bit different, and it's going to take a lot more. You need temperatures that can't, marginal temperatures don't cut it. It's kind of like late March, right? It's almost the same deal. If it's marginal temperatures, it's not going to work. Even if it's falling at night, you need heavier rates in order to do that. Not saying you can't have that, but it's not as likely. So the best thing to use in this case is a positive snow depth change, accumulated positive snow depth change. And this is a lot more realistic. So those lower elevations looks like a lot of coating to an inch type stuff. I can see that happening, but it's probably going to be Friday night, and I'll show you that in a second, or Friday evening with the second batch. And here is what we have for that whole, the higher elevations. Some of these highest peaks here will get 3 to 6 inches, but a lot of them will get, when you get like 1,000 to 1,500 feet or something like that, it'll be in the 1 to 3 range, it looks like. Might be some locally higher than that. Again, we're not doing our map until 5 p.m. today. First map. It's gonna be just a copy and paste of one of these maps here. Okay, we're gonna do an extensive sounding review, multiple models we're gonna consider and kind of blend them together and come up with our map at 5 p.m. publicly today. If you don't have the text alerts, get them today. If you want the text alerts, they're gonna be sent out early this afternoon, probably around 2:30, 3 o'clock. We'll send those snow alerts out. We're also gonna be sending rain alerts out for the overnight system for on a county level basis. And that is going to be at about 10 o'clock this morning, somewhere around there. We'll send those out then. So if you're not part of the My Pocket Meteorologist winter alerts, get on that now. Get it on there this morning and don't wait or you won't get anything for this. Okay, so just showing the difference between these different maps. Just be careful what you see out there. Okay, this is a lot more realistic. It might not be exactly right here, but we'll make that determination before we release our map at 5 p.m. on Friday. Now, I wanted to show you something here. This is the temperatures that are going to be taking place this evening. So even though this is at midnight, at the same time that the NAM was suggesting, we'll go back to midnight here. This is midnight, right? Right there. And it's suggesting snow all the way down to the I-78 corridor, northwest New Jersey here at this point. Look at the temperatures here at that time, though. 36 degrees. In November, that doesn't cut it, okay? You can't be 36 degrees and expect the snow's going to stick unless it's really heavy. I don't expect it to be down this far south and east, and even across northwest New Jersey. But you get in these blue areas here. These are all areas that are 32 or lower, and that's where your highest elevations are, and that's where the snow that's actually sticking is going to stick there, okay? As we go into the longer range NAM, just to show you this second batch. So this is Friday morning. Watch how we get some more wraparound come in here through Friday afternoon and evening. Snow falling again all the way down to the I-78 corridor. This time, it could possibly stick. And the reason is these temperatures are a lot more cooperative. They're closer to freezing. They're still above freezing, but it's still closer to freezing. 33, 34, that's doable. 36, you're pushing it a little bit. But you see the higher elevations are still 32 or less, including the Scranton Wilkes-Barre area. So I do expect some accumulations up there, just not a lot. Okay, so that's what we're going to be dealing with today. We're going to go through this entire system and look at all the different factors that we have involved here, put it all together, make it a simple thing under the weather alerts page at 5 o'clock so you can take a look at that. Don't just look at the pretty maps, look at what we have to write there as far as impacts and expectations so you understand the timeline of things and how these are all going to work together. We'll have that detailed for you publicly later today. I'm EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martis. That is your outlook for November 20th, 2024. Have a great Wednesday.